I see what you're saying, Coronal Panic, in the chat, and I'm sorry. But as is always the way, when shit is hard, it gets harder, right? And it gets worse. And OBS and Stream Deck, so if you guys are unaware, I use OBS to run the streams and I use Stream Deck to press all my buttons so things can work. Both of them just did updates this morning and it's broken now. So my buttons that I press on Stream Deck to launch the stream now aren't working, which is fine. I can make it work for today because I know what I'm doing in OBS. But it doesn't make it easy, and I have to be careful as to when mics go live, etc. And then on top of which, it does mean also that I need to fix this before tonight, because otherwise the game stream doesn't work, and I'm supposed to have a night off tonight. So anyway, welcome back to the channel. I need to move that camera a little bit, I think. I'm going to move that camera in a second. I'm trying something new, right? So Joe did a stream from here last week on Thursday, and I thought it looked really good, and I thought it was a good stream to do. You might see me here more often in the future on Wednesdays and Fridays specifically, and that's because of Hobby House. So when Hobby House opens, I'm going to be on site. Our opening hours are between 4 and 10 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and hopefully soon Monday, Tuesday as well, which means that the most efficient way of me ducking out and doing a show would be to come up here, do an hour and a half show, go back downstairs, and finish locking up, right? So you might see this location a lot more often. I'm going to move the camera actually, so it looks like I'm looking at you more, because I'm going to tweak the setup live on air. And this is one of the things that you can give feedback on and talk about. The stream title is the stream title today, right? So let me move that camera because I don't like the fact that I can see myself not looking at you and it looks shit. And I'll be right back. And in the meantime, you could all gift 20 members and I'll calm down. I'll be right back. And I'll explain why Joe's not here as well. 2 seconds. That looks better. There we go. Okay. I need to fix the microphone problem as well, so it's not so far off to the side as well. So we go this way a bit, like that. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? There we go. Okay, we're good. Right. Love the chair. It fitted the studio theme, right? So Jojo was supposed to be here for a Liam and Joe show today. We were going to do some hobbying at the table, and it didn't happen because Joe has more car problems. It's not his fault. This isn't his fault. I'll take you on a little journey to explain what's happened to Joe. So Joe's cars, plural, both basically blew up at the same time a little while ago, a couple of months ago, right? And so he needed to replace them, and he found a replacement, and he bought a replacement, and he turned up with that replacement. None of that stuff's an NDA. I'm not under an NDA anymore, Scott, anyway. So he bought himself a replacement. That replacement turned up. He turned up here in that replacement. He drove home that day in that replacement, and the engine blew up, right? Not good. So he then went back to the garage and said, "You've sold me a defective car. Can you fix it for me?" The garage took it off of him to start fixing it, gave him a courtesy car. He's been in a courtesy car essentially since. The garage got back to him and said, "We can't fix this problem. It's a head gasket issue. So it's not cost effective to fix it. So I'm going to source another vehicle for you." Found him another car to sell him. And then when it turned up, said, "Oh, the axles are bent." So what I'm going to do is, and Joe went, "Stop me there. Now I want a refund, right? I'm now at a point where I'd like some money back, please, because I still don't have a working car days later," which I think is probably justified and reasonable, to be honest with you. And so that was supposed to happen this morning. So this morning he was supposed to get his refund and they were supposed to collect his car. He didn't want it to happen on a Thursday for reasons, but they were supposed to do it first thing this morning. He then got a message this morning. He phoned me up. "Oh, I've set the collection guys to come and find it between 2 and 4 p.m. So I was like, "Don't worry about it, mate. It's not your fault. Not an issue." So well, if they come early, if they come at like 2, I can get on the train to go to Poole where I found another new vehicle with the money they're giving me as a refund, and I can buy that and I'll be there for the evening. If they come at 4, it's going to be a struggle. I was like, "It's not a problem. It's okay." Quite an understanding boss, I like to think, for the most part. So that's why Joe's not here. It's not his fault. It isn't his fault. it really isn't, but it is where we are, you know. And then what did happen was about 5 minutes before I went live, he also messaged me and said, I'm on my way to Poole now to get the car. I will be in tonight. So if everything goes okay, Joe will be here tonight. But now I have to fix the Stream Deck to get it working, which I think is a PC reboot. But at the time in which I figured that out, I was already 6 minutes late. So I didn't want to be any later. So I'm here for you people. I want to have a bit of a chat with you as well. The daytime crew about me and where I'm at and stuff. There's a lot going on right now. So first thing I'm going to say thank you for Robert Hubert for 1 gifted membership. You're a hero. Thank you, Hannah, for 1 gifted membership. You're a hero. And thank you, Power Pilgrim, for 1 gifted membership. You're also a hero. Thank you, Robin, for the $10. He says, someone wise once said that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. See you next Friday. Yeah, I can't wait to see people on Friday. So let's talk a bit about the title of the stream, right? Because often we don't do that enough on the Talking Heads shows. And I need to talk about it because I have always been a massive advocate for men's mental health. I've always been a big supporter of it. We've done work for and with charities. We've donated to Mind. We've spoken and dealt with Calm. I'm an ambassador for Models for Heroes. So, you know, I'm big on men's mental health. I'm not very good at looking after my own, if I'm honest. And so at the moment, with what's going on, and it's my own fault, and I'm not complaining. I want to make this very clear. I'm not complaining because a lot of people out there have a much harder time than I have, or have a much more complicated or difficult situation than I have. And it's also obviously relevant, right? It's each thing impacts each person differently. So I don't think you can often look at some of these things objectively. I think you have to typically look at them subjectively. And so I don't want you to think for 1 minute that this is a complaint or a plea or a beg. It's none of those things. It's just open and honest conversation. And I'm really fucking struggling at the moment with everything that's going on. So Hobby House launched last weekend for its trial weekend. It was incredible. I've told you this at basically every stream so far this week. The feedback has been utterly insane. The Google reviews are incredible. Games Workshop phoned me up because they've seen it. I've now got companies emailing me because they want us to stock their products. So normally when you become a retailer, you go out to distributors and you get hold of product that you want to sell. I've got companies emailing me saying they've seen the feedback, they've seen the social media posts. We want to give you product. We want you to buy our products and stock our product. That's insane. Like it's mad good. I had a fresh email this morning from a big company, a relatively big company. I had an email over the weekend from a decent sized company. It's mad. It's mad that that's going on, and I'm incredibly happy and positive with it. But that did mean that last week was a 70-hour working week for us, for Toby and I. And I, at the same time, I categorically cannot praise Toby enough for the work he put in last week. He's downstairs right now, still making and painting terrain for downstairs. Hang on, is it working now? Hang on. No, Streamlabs is still broken. It just gave me an error message on the screen. So, you know, he can't hear this. He's not watching this, but he is an absolute trooper, and I couldn't have done it without him, and I couldn't have done it without his support and his help. He's fucking insanely good. We've also got Dan, who's our staff member downstairs, who sits just below Toby as our assistant manager, which is interesting that he's an assistant manager because we currently don't have any staff for him to manage, but he is an assistant manager. He's also been incredible. Not quite the 70-hour working week, but he put some graft in last week as well. He did more than was required of him. The thing is, I know for certain that this is not the end of those kinds of weeks for me specifically. I'm trying hard to protect Toby because I don't want to destroy him as well. I'm obviously going to try hard to protect Dan. Well, I'm going to protect Dan. But that's not going to change for me for now. So I still need to come in the daytime and do Hobby House work because we've got to try and get this website ready. We've got to try and sort all our stock issues out. I then am going to have to be streaming in the evenings as well as being available and present for the shop. Hence this location, right? You're going to get a lot of solo Liam streams going forward because I need to be here. I need to be on site, which means I can open the shop at 4 p.m. with Toby and Dan And it means come 9 o'clock on a Friday, I can last minute come up here after I've scheduled my stream, and I can sit and do a talking heads with you people and celebrate another day open. And they've only got an hour to close. It means on a Wednesday, for example, I can open the shop at 4 o'clock. I can come up here at 7:30 and stream till 9, and I can go back down for the last hour, which might mean I can send Toby home early, or I can send Dan home early, and I can give them a little bit more time off. Because at the moment, with the way the business is, we cannot afford any more staff. New businesses are new businesses, and new businesses normally are made or broken in the first 12 months. At the moment, we cannot hire any more staff because it risks our cash flow going negative, and then we become bankrupt in 5 months. So that's where we're at, right? So the three of us are going to have to manage all the hours. And that's when you take into consideration things like holiday and sickness exist. It's going to be a challenge. I'm going to be doing more 50 to 70 hour working weeks. Again, I'm not complaining. I'm really not. It's just the reality of it. At the same time, I have to continue to keep this going because Hobby House pays Toby and Hobby House pays Dan, but Hobby House pays me zero. And it won't pay me anything for a very long time, I can't imagine, because I think it's going to take us at least a year to get to full proper break-even point. So everything I do for Hobby House is done free of charge in the hope that this business grows and is successful and pays dividends in the future. But that means I need this to keep going, and I need to keep working on the channel. And that's a second stress. And like I said to you guys last night, right, it's a real world stress when you have 3 members of staff now that work for you and their livelihoods are directly connected to your businesses and you doing well. And then I look at 40K, I look at Warhammer, I look at YouTube, and I'm really fucking struggling with it. I can't seem to crack the YouTube nut in a way in which I want. And I know there's a little bit of stubbornness, because I should be doing more shorts. I should be doing more short form content. I just don't like it. So it is a bit of stubbornness on my part. I get that. And social media influencers need to roll with the punches, and they need to be adaptable, and they need to adapt to the latest trend. And I'm bad at it. I am bad at it. And I've held my hand up and said I'm bad at that. And that's always been okay, because I've been carried by the fact that I'm so passionate about Warhammer 40K. I'm so passionate about making live content that I think I've got away with it until now, but I'm struggling with that passion right this moment because it's end of edition, and the end of edition slog is real, right? It's a thing that happens. It just is. And at the moment, I don't know. Every time I schedule myself, I schedule myself into play quite frequently, okay? We have a schedule, we have an Excel spreadsheet that's shared with everybody, and we have everyone on that sheet, and we schedule everyone in, and I often schedule myself in to play at least once a week, every week, okay, on purpose, because I feel like it's my channel, right? I should be in front of the camera. And actually, also, here's the other thing: is if I'm on, this is a pig-headed thing to say, chat, and you're all going to rip me for this, but if I'm on the show, they do better. They perform better financially, is the bottom line, ultimately. And Joe's noticed it, and Joe's mentioned it. And that's why I was so chuffed for him last week with his 2 solo Joe shows and the way in which you supported him and the numbers that you threw him. Because he deserves it, right? But, that's a fact. If I'm playing and on show, they perform better normally, typically. And so I always schedule myself in. And then I get to game day, and Joe will tell you, he'll be on the stream and he'll go, oh, I don't know if it's going to be Liam tonight. He's put himself down to play, so I imagine it won't be. And he jokes about it. And then so often I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't want to stand there and be on for 3 hours on front of camera. I'm tired. Thankfully, I've got people like Tom and Paddy who are desperate to play and love playing. So they jump in for me, and that's amazing. And I can't thank them enough. They're volunteers, right? They do it for free. So I don't know how I'm going to get through the next 4 months, if I'm honest, with no staff for Hobby House and an edition that's dying because they're waiting for 11th, ultimately. I need you. So it is it's a plea, but it's not a plea. I'm not saying everyone give me £500 or I go bust. That's not what I'm saying, right? Interactivity helps. Questions, things that you put to me that I can answer, things I can talk about, helps massively, because I sat here in front of the computer for half an hour today thinking about what the fuck do I talk about? And I was really struggling to find a topic to talk about. And I thought to myself, I'm really struggling. And I thought, well, that's what I'm going to talk about because that's where I'm at the moment. I haven't lost my love for Warhammer. I still adore the hobby. I still love this community. I still love you all in chat. But it's fucking hard, right? Until 11th hits, or we start getting some news about 11th, which I'm hoping can come sooner rather than later, because I can't imagine they're just going to do 2 weeks of build up to a new edition for Warhammer 40k, which is their biggest game. So I can't imagine we'll be waiting too long. But fingers crossed sometime in the near future. Anyway, and you can see by my eyes, I'm just fucked. I'm just so tired at the moment all the time. But hey, have you considered shorts that showcase the fun of the live streams, e.g. moments where Joe fails to roll a single 4+ on the dozen dice? I have, Soups. I've experimented with it. I've tried. I cannot and will not sit through 3.5 hours of recorded YouTube content to find a couple of shorts. So what we did originally was we had a timestamp section in Thanes, I think it was, and said, timestamp your favourite moments and we'll turn them into shorts. And we didn't get any really, or any that was worth using. So, I was about to say you're supposed to be working, but it's half term, isn't it? So it's a firm maybe, but I can't. If I can teach Joe how to do it, it's a bigger maybe, and he might be able to do it. But In the meantime, thank you, Schooner, for 5 gifted. You're a fucking hero. Thank you, Evan, for 5 gifted. You're a hero. Thank you, Mr. the Hardborn. Chris, thank you for 5 gifted. You're a fucking hero. Love you. And thank you, Chris, for the $5. You don't have to get through 4 months. You only have to get through an Adepticon because then they announce a new edition. You're going to be super hyped. Well, I mean, then that should give me content, right? If that happens, which I'm hoping it is, I don't know anymore. Because here's the other part of the tough deal, right? And I told you guys this already, but in case you missed it, the other part of the tough deal is I've now lost my preview access. I can't have preview access anymore. So I don't have that stuff to get excited about and share with you because I can't have preview access and retail contract. I'm not allowed. So I had to choose one or the other. And I obviously chose retail contract because Hobby House doesn't work without it. The channel can work without preview access. Hobby House can't work without trade account. So there's just a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on. And I'm not good at asking for help, but help. Started my job, so more gifted inbound. Oh, Evan, you're amazing anyway, mate. So you don't have to do that, but thank you. I'll try and keep an eye out for timestamps, but it's tricky to tag while the stream's actually running. Yeah, of course. I think we'll see the announcement for 11th at Adepticon in March. I hope so, Matt. I do. Hey, what's your new job anyway, Evan? Let us know. What's your new job? Tell me. Tell us. So we can all say congratulations to Evan. End of edition fatigue hits hard, 100% it does. Cornet Ed, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. You're amazing. That's dumb. You would like to think having preview access to hype up the products would be a win-win. No, so it makes sense. And I'm pretty sure it's UK consumer law or UK trading standards law. It makes sense, right? I'll explain because a lot of people have said this to me and a lot of people got quite riled up on my behalf. So I just want to make sure people are like, this isn't Games Workshop being evil, okay? Shop A is owned by me, okay? And I am a previewer or a playtester, for example, and I have a trade account, right? Shop B is owned by Frank down the road, okay? He doesn't have a YouTube channel. He isn't a previewer. He doesn't have any kind of preview access. He doesn't have playtesting status, right? When Games Workshop then say, here's the pre-orders, this is what you can have, right? As a previewer, I've already got the codex and I've already got the models and I know how good or bad things are. So I can look at the new Lumineth book and I can go, this shit's all really, really fucking good in that book. And I know that because I'm a previewer, so I've already seen it. And because I've already seen it, what I can then do is I can go, I know Alarith Stoneguard are really fucking good in the new book. So I'll phone up Games Workshop and I'll say, can I have 20 boxes of Alarith Stoneguard? Because people are going to want to buy them because they're really good in the codex, right? Frank down the road, he hasn't got the codex. He won't get the codex. He'll place his pre-order with Games Workshop, and it normally turns up a couple of days before it goes on pre-order on the website. So he hasn't got the opportunity to then go, fuck, can I have 20 boxes of Alara Stoneguard? And if he does, all the previewers will have already bought them all. And they'll go, oh, we're out of stock, sorry. So what that means is I have insider knowledge, and I get insider trading, and insider trading is against UK law. Okay? So they have to take the preview access off me so that all their trade counts are treated equally and they all have a fair chance. And it's fine. I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. It does make sense. I don't want people to think this is this big evil thing from Games Workshop. It does make sense. So, you know, I hating on them's trendy, right? I get it. And I'm sad about losing preview access, but for me, it's logical. It makes sense. And I don't want to be dishonest and stuff. It's like when you see a guy turn up to a tournament with the latest broken army that came out 2 weeks ago and somehow he's managed to make the exact fucking most broken list that exists in that codex, despite the fact he's never played that army before, and then you find out he's a playtester. It's like that shit. You're going to feel really bad at that tournament if you turn up and you get fucking curb stomped by the latest codex that literally came out a fortnight before the event, and no one possibly could have guessed what the list was going to be, but somehow this person's got that exact list. You're going to feel bad, and that shit's happened. So, you know, no more pesky NDA, correct. Callum, thank you for the 5 gifted. You're a legend. We're on 28 gifted chat. No, sorry, 29 gifted chat. Thank you so much. And Burns, thank you for the $10. Editions are 3-year cycles. If we move to 5-year, like some people have stated they would prefer, will we struggle at year 3 out of 5? Would the power creep just make years 4 and 5 unbearable? It depends on the release rate, Burns, right? If they keep the release rate the same as currently, I think, yeah, we still be getting fatigued and burnt out now. If their release rate was slowed to cover the whole edition, it's possible that it wouldn't be so bad and you'd actually only get this kind of fatigue 6 months after, or 6 months until the new edition anyway. But I don't know. People do that, what the fuck? Yeah, so they've had it. They've had it before. And there's other things that companies do where they'll look at the fact that, oh, I've just found out that there's these brand new plastic warp spiders coming out and I've got a load of Finecast ones that I'm definitely not going to be able to sell. So I'll return them to Games Workshop for a refund rather than try and sell them myself. So at which point, you know, Games Workshop then get lumbered with all this gear that someone else has bought. Because once they sell it to you, once they sell the products to you, they obviously print more. So if they have 10,000 boxes of intercessors on site and they sell 5,000 boxes of intercessors to independent retailers, what they're going to do is they're going to print 5,000 more boxes to replace that because they'll have a minimum stock level. If you then return all your intercessors because you decide you don't want them anymore and no one's buying them, they then have 15,000 sets of intercessors and it's bollocks for them, right? It screws them over. So, hey, I get it. It makes sense. Like insider trading is a thing and it's illegal and or against the law, at least against the rules. So I'm not sad about that in that regard. Like I'm not angry at them for it at all, and I can't make that message clear enough. It makes sense. I'm okay with it. I'm just sad about it. I'm just sad about it, Jack. That's all it is. I am doing a homebrew Chaos Space Marines warband called Iron Hellforge Cult Warband. Sounds cool, James. Sounds cool. To be fair, that knowledge already makes it to certain stores' hands. I do try and reorder a couple of boxes of something, and behold, it's sold out for seemingly no reason. Yeah, it does happen. It still happens. Sounds like Games Workshop just need to mandate that everyone gets equal stock so you can keep your preview status. It doesn't work there, right? Because Frank's store might be a little like corner shop that can only hold £10,000 worth of stock in total because he's only got 3 shelves. And then we've got Hobby House downstairs where we filled the shelves with 60,000 and still had spaces. So you either throttle us and we don't work, or you overload him and he can't afford it. So, but yeah, no more pesky NDA. I can talk about leaks and rumours. I don't know if I will, because my stance on that is still the same. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I very much doubt I'll change into leaks and rumours and do that kind of stuff. My stance is still very much, I should put on Vinny's music. That'd make it better, wouldn't it? Let's put this on. Boop. Tell me if this is too loud or too quiet. About there, I reckon. Can I get it to do what I do on the other one? Audio. Desktop audio. Oh, it is. It's doing it. Can you guys hear that, or tad higher? How about there? A lot of people getting paid a lot of money have figured that this is the best way. They're probably right. Yeah, exactly. Bit more again. Perfect. Okay, good. Thank you, Necrogoblin, for the 50 Danish Corona. How about a look at the narrative campaign and make a character for content talk? I think it sounds interesting. Got the books pre-ordered. Yeah, we can do that. That's like, this is one of those things. I've got the Maelstrom books over on the side, right? It's one of those things that I want to do with Joe because I think that's a real like Joe's wheelhouse type thing. So, I think that's great, but I would want him involved in that show. I think that's a Liam and Joe show thing where him and I can talk about it and go back and forth. So, you know, with 11th edition coming, now would be a great time to make short form informative content for newcomers hooked into the hobby. Simple stuff like what tools to buy as a beginner will get views. Do you reckon? Do you reckon that stuff's useful? Do you think new editions, chat, bring in lots of new people? Or also, we're one gifted membership away from 30. And then we just need like 4 of you to gift 20 and we're fine. Just saying. And then I'll be calm and happy and chill and relaxed. Can't hear a thing, but my ADHD hearing is awful. I need subtitles on while watching stuff. Oh, I can't have subtitles on, Mikey. I'm the opposite. If I've got subtitles on, that's all I do is focus on the subtitles, and I don't see what's going on. I think I heard Joe say he's interested in it. Yeah, he won't be. Great point. He's not wrong. I'm seeing a lot of questions on Reddit along the lines of, do I get into the hobby now or wait for 11th? Oh, really? I'm not a Reddit person. I think it was the hype for 10th when I started consuming lots of your content, been stuck ever since. Stuck? Thanks, mate. Maybe try a linked campaign. Do 2,000 points, but each mission makes the next a little different. Plus or minus 100 points or mandatory reserves, just spice it up. So I was thinking about that today, right? And we probably won't because it's too late, but I was legitimately thinking about this today. And I was thinking about the fact that Paddy wants to bring his knights. And he really wants to bring his knights. And I've always said this. I've always said to the players, if you really want to play an army, I'm not going to stop you. I'd rather you're playing stuff that you enjoy and you have fun with, because that will come across when you're presenting, than you play something that, you know, is not something you love or not something you're interested in. And he really wants to play his fucking knights. He really wants to play them. And I was like, what do we do? So Joe was going to throw Tyranids against knights originally. I don't know if he's still planning to, if he turns up. But I was like, do we go endless Tyranids against knights? Do we do something cool like that? So that there's a bit more fun involved? I'm not sure. That laser guy, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. Go on, lad. We're at 39 now. We're 1 away from 40. Then it's just 3 lots of 20 there. What a fucking hero. Thank you so much, man. What a legend. But, like, the thing is as well is, and I have to, this sounds, this is going to make me sound like an arsehole. It is, and I can't help it. But it will. If narratively linked games and campaigns are a thing we can do that, for me personally, is low effort, I'm all here for it. If, however, it's going to take loads of admin and time, I don't have capacity at the moment. And this will get better. When Hobby House is making money, and Hobby House is doing well, and Hobby House is able to hire more staff because we can afford to, rather than just Toby and Dan, and I can start to let go a little bit and let it run, I can dive back into this. And I'm trying to empower Joe as well to do more stuff, to free me up a little bit. So if I can teach him to do certain things, we could and will maybe be okay. But At the moment, if you're like, oh, do a Crusade campaign, you've only got 3 hours of admin to do a week. I don't know why I'm finding those 3 hours. How about faction focus videos from Tom, Paddy, etc.? Talk about factions they like. We can do that. That's cool. Where's Joe? Joe is trying to sort a car problem out. He's hoping to get in this evening for the evening show. So that isn't you being an arsehole. It's just you. But the thing is, Burns, right? I think it's me being a realist and honest, but some people, and they're justified, you know, some people pay for content. They pay to support the channel. And when I'm then sat here going, I can't be bothered, or that's not the case, or that's what they hear, but that's not the case. It's not that I can't be bothered, it's that I just don't have the capacity right now because we're trying to bring this amazing hobby space to people. And I do actually genuinely want to be able to bring this amazing hobby space to people across the UK, Europe, and America. I'd like to do that. I have big dreams. I think big. I'd love to have Hobby House Germany, Hobby House France, Hobby House the Netherlands, Hobby House Canada, Hobby House America. I'd love to have these businesses. I would. I'd like to be able to take what we've built here and give this to people as their standard gaming experience. Their standard local gaming shop looks like this. You know? That's what I'd like to do. That's what I'd like to do, but it's we're a long way from that. You can always start by running some of the Crusade missions without jumping into the wider system. They're fun and different. Doesn't mean overly work, but feel like it would be all... Well, if I can make the scoreboard work for it, then yeah. Could do a series of narrative games that just have a linked story. Don't have to add the extra Crusade rules. It's a bit too much book work. It is, yeah, facts. The guys could do shorts on their favourite combos when they play specific factions. See, that stuff is great, Mikey. It is. But 11th is coming, and that might all change. Hobby House is a thing that can grow and thrive. YouTube is fickle. Who knows how profitable it will be in 5 years? Top-notch store feels more viable. YouTube is fucking hard, right? There's a lot of people out there, my kids included, who want to be a YouTuber. Because they see this bit. They see the in front of the camera bit. For the most part, kids are watching people that sit in front of the camera playing video games part, and they go, wait, so he plays video games for a living, but because he doesn't have a camera, he gets paid for it? Fucking, why would you want any other job in the world? Which is reasonable, right? But YouTube's fucking hard work. And YouTube themselves are all over the place. Oh, Jay, thank you for the $5. He says, my no-show fee. I'm on a train off to Poole. I'll be there for tonight. I'm not avoiding a paddy paddling. Amazing. You didn't have to give me a no-show fee, mate. I know you got dramas. I know you're fixing those dramas. I know you've managed to get... getting on trains is shit as well, and you've got on a train to fix your dramas, so, you know... Favourite combo? Yeah, so that kind of content for 11th is fucking incredible, Mikey, right? If I can get Paddy to look at Blood Angels on 11th and go, this is my favourite thing that I've found so far, Tom to do it for World Eaters and what have you, Joe to do it for Templars, you know, that's cool short-form content. You could probably bang out 3 or 4 shorts with Paddy before he does a live show, and do 3 or 4 shorts with Tom before he does a live show. So we're not even like bringing them in for extra filming days, and then edit them into short form videos and bang them out. And Joe's been working on short form videos, and I've got some to launch, but I haven't launched them yet because I want to bank before I start launching them. So I've got 3 of them I think he's done already. When we've got about 10, I'll start putting them out slowly. What I don't want to do is launch, and then there's a gap because there's no more been made, and then we essentially launch again. And I also don't want to pressure him too hard to do loads more because he's quite busy as well. But so we are bringing shorts out. We are going back to bringing shorts out. You know, things are bad when Liam is filling himself full of monster. Facts, Sean. I'm fucked. Utterly fucked. Hey ho. You could do a campaign where you restrict it to a limit of pounds points per month and narrative games with the sides growing over time. Well, that was supposed to be what Nina was, Scott, to be fair. That was exactly what Nina was supposed to be. But capacity, again, I need to do something where you guys can start submitting your progress and I can do a show about it because it gives me content. But bringing shorts out just so Joe can take them off for us for that paddy paddling. Exactly, yeah, Brian. 100%. Chat, we're still one member away from 40. If one person gifts one member, we're at 40, and then we hit a nice round number, and that makes me happy. Happier. Makes me happier. Get them all to make their own character kit bash. Great idea. Hobby stores are also quite fickle. Preach. I'm really hoping I can show face this weekend at Hobby House. If it's this weekend, then you can't because we're closed. If it's next weekend, starting the 27th, you can because we'll be open. Thank you, Sammy, for the $10. The Kill Team books have a flowchart series of maps you play through, and depending on who wins, decides which mission you play next. Highly recommend to look at them if you want easy game series ideas. Do you think they're adaptable to 40k? Or is it quite a lot of work? Sean, thank you for 5 gifted. We're still one away from a nice multiple 5 there. And Brian did, oh no, and then it went over straight away. Brian got us to 45, and Scott went, fuck this, hold my beer. Here's 46 members. Thank you anyway, Brian. Thank you, Scott, for the 1 gift. And a massive thank you, Sean, for 5 gifted memberships. Mikey just sitting outside with a dented camping chair for 7 days worth of baked beans. I need to zoom this in a bit. I can't see you all properly. There we go. I can see a bit better now. Chat's clearer to me. Chat's clearer to me. What do you think to... I mean, maybe I need to change the backdrop a bit, but what do you think to this setting as well? Is this going to work for evening shows? I think it'll work. I think it looks quite nice. But... And it's easy to set up, which is important for me. But I think it's quite nice. What do you guys think for this setup for an evening show? Does the Hobby House have an online store? It will. It will. It hasn't yet. You can go to www.hobbyhouse.com and you can sign up to the mailing list. And when things change on the website, we hope to email you and say, by the way, this has changed on the website. We've added a link to booking tables, or finally we're open, all that kind of stuff. Right? So that's coming. It's just not ready yet. We're working on it. I'm a 5-minute drive from the building, but yeah, I'll be there with my tent and beans. Brilliant. Love it. Thank you, Midwest War Games, for the 5 gifted memberships. You're a hero. We're on 51, chat. Just one person drops 50 now, and we're golden. Each map has deployment and objective. We've played some in 1K 40 games. Oh, interesting. That's a fucking great idea. Thank you, Sam. Bit of light in the black corner of the left, you think that's all? Yeah, well, I can do stuff with the backdrop. I like the pile of shame behind you. It hits me on an emotional level. They are all sealed boxes that I found in our studio stock room that I'm going to donate to Hobby House so that it can sell them. Love to visit a bit hard from Denmark. If you try harder. So yeah, I can and will modify the backdrop because it's mine. I fucking made that wall. Well, I didn't make that wall. Rusty made that wall. But I can and will modify that backdrop if it, I think it looks cool though. It's on brand with the podcast. In fact, I'd argue, chat, it's more on brand, right? It's more on brand than the normal stuff at home with the lights. Because we have Liam and Joe shows in the corner with the furs and this wood. We have the streams with the wood. And then we have a random one with a bookcase and a glass cabinet. Unfortunately, the other opposite end of the UK for me, otherwise we'll visit regularly. Aww. Maybe one day, eh? Maybe one day. I think it looks more in fitting with the channel theme, if I'm honest. And it might mean that I can have less of a work environment at home. It might mean I might be able to start separating and actually only work at work. Novel, right? But it could mean that. Don't watch this channel much. But hats off, guys, for such incredible work you've done. Thank you so much, you legend. I wish you watched us more. Tattoo Zoologist. What do we have to do, Tattoo Zoologist, to get you to watch us more? Good work-home balance is important. Yeah, it's something that honestly speaking, Ed, like I said at the start of the show, right, I'm a positive advocate for men's mental health. Not very good at looking after my own. Work-life balance is something I haven't got right lately. But I can't have had it any other way. It's the way it's had to be. And I need to, after the next 2 or 3 months, if everything starts to settle, I actually need to work hard at wrestling it back. Focus on some me time. You could set up a game table in the garage, just play on stream. Great idea. Why have I never thought of that? Quick lurk and like, and I've never found the end of edition difficult, probably because I only play hyper casual. That's reasonable, Escapade, to be fair. It's nice to hear Liam donating to an up and coming store. Do you want to donate to an up and coming YouTube channel, Alpha Omega? Still a channel that far outperforms its fucking sub numbers, and that's all because of you guys, and you guys are all insane, and I love you so much. So much. I'm sure you have them somewhere already, but if you want to borrow them, I can drop them in when Hobby House opens. I don't know. We didn't get Kill Team stuff sent to us. So here's the other thing. We talked earlier about the preview program, right? The fact that I've lost access to the preview program. Oh, by the way, I should say this, chat. It's a given anyway, but if you've got any questions about anything, feel free to super chat them in, and I will answer them if I'm allowed to. Alpha Omega, thank you for the one gifted. You're a legend, up to 52. But the other thing with the preview program is it's changed. We don't get much now. This is before they cancelled it for me. They don't get much. We don't get much at all. And the thing I cared about the most for the preview program personally was physical codexes for 2 reasons. Firstly, in the preview window, when we're doing live games on stream and it's not in the app, I need the physical codex to play the fucking army. Right? That's the only way I can do it. Using the PDFs to play the army is shit. It's really fucking shit. The PDFs they send you to play the army is horrible. And so I would rather not do preview content if I've only got a PDF than do it with a PDF because it's crap. So the books are really important to me. They're the most important part. The second reason why the books are important from a very selfish perspective is every time I get given a free book, there's a code in the back that I can put into my app, and we can, as a team, have access to all of the rules all of the time. And that is insane, right? That's really good for us as a team, for people that are going to ask us questions, for people that we're going to be giving advice, we're going to help people with list building, etc. It's really fucking important for us to have all those rules. And we don't get them anymore. We just get PDFs now. So, although I am sad that I've lost preview content, it's not what I had before. Opening a business is super hard, but it will get easier, and after the first couple of months settled and everything is in place. Thank you, Sam. I'm sure it will. I legitimately think that Dow says will be a success, but you don't know, do you? You can't say. My gut tells me it will be. The feedback tells me it will be, but it actually has to happen. There are enough gaming places where it looks like everyone would feel welcomed and would just be nice to just hang out with other hobbyists, nowhere near me. So my hobby has stagnated recently. So well done for making what looks like a great hobby experience for people. Oh, thank you, MP. That's amazing. We've added another set of tables and chairs. We had 2. If you've seen the video, we had 2 tables and chair sets. We've added a third. We were fucking about with it today to see if we could add a 4th. And I think we compromised on space to add 4 more seats, and I don't want to compromise on space. So we've gone from 8 seats to 12 in the kind of front of bar area, the kind of cafe area, I guess. I do want another table, but I don't want to kind of either feel like it shouldn't be there or it eats into some of the welcoming environment too much and makes it a bit less welcoming. I don't want to look like I'm trying to stack people on top of each other. But that was the goal. Like, we wanted to be able to get to a place where if you're an avid hobbyist, you can walk in and feel comfortable. And if you're a brand new wargamer, you can walk in and feel comfortable. And if you're a wife or girlfriend or partner of someone who plays Warhammer, you can walk in and feel comfortable and sit and have a coffee. And if you're a kid, you're still quite happy to be there and you can sit at the table and build your first ever Space Marine. And that's what we wanted, and I think it's worked, which is insane. Soups, thank you for the $5. Obviously, don't answer if you can't, but are you now caught up with previews you'd seen? If so, what was the last thing you got to see early? I think the last thing I got to see early, in terms of what I've seen versus what I know, I can answer what I've seen, I can't answer what I know. Okay? Because although I'm no longer a previewer, I'm still under their NDA and I don't want to upset them. The last thing I saw... The last thing I saw I can't talk about till Saturday anyway. So there you go. I can't even talk about the last thing I saw. Don't make them any more busy. We've added one table and chairs. I think that's fine, Sean. The setup just looks awesome. Everyone's videos really showcased it it showcased it all in a great light. It did, yeah. I was just hosting an Adepticon watch long in the store, but as it's 2 in the morning, screw that. Well, here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing. If I use this as my talking headspace, there is a world where I can do 2 a.m. previews. Because I'm not waking other people up in a house. Red Corsairs went on preview Saturday, Sean, just gone, so I could have talked about those. All you've got to do is look at Sunday's email, Sunday's Warcom article that says what's going on pre-order on Saturday, and you'll go, oh, okay. How about more guest streams? Get members of your audience to potentially come down and play a stream game if they wanted to be on the tube. Dave, if I... You're probably a lovely dude, right? And there are some people that I know that I'd probably be okay with because I've met them so many times. But 2 things. Firstly, everyone thinks I would like to be in front of a live camera until they're in front of a live camera and they go, because it's really fucking quite daunting and quite hard. That's the least of my concerns. So that's the thing we can work past. And if I'm presenting with the person, I can carry it. It's not a problem, right? It's fine. My issue is, if we do a pre-recorded person with a member that I've not met before, and they say something that I'm not comfortable with being on my YouTube channel, it's pre-recorded and I can edit it out. Ultimately, I cannot release the video. And I've done that before. I've filmed videos before and I've not released them because they're just not good. And I've said I'm very sorry, but it's just not a good video. I've also had things where people have said stuff I'm like, right, firstly, no. Secondly, I'm not going to have to edit that out. Right? Live, that's so much more difficult. So the only way I could get away with it is by putting the stream on a longer delay, which I don't like because it's harder to interact with the audience on a longer delay. So I could put it on a longer delay and then fit a dump button. So if someone says something, the producer smashes a button and it will go boo and stop you from hearing what they've said. So, but that fucks the audience interaction, and the audience interaction is my most important thing because I run it on the lowest latency possible, so that I have the fastest reaction times to what you guys do, and it's still like a 6 to 10 second delay often. What I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to hold my finger up, and then the second I hold my finger up, the first person that sees it, just put a 1 in chat, okay? Are you ready? $11 seconds. 11-second delay, and that's on the lowest latency possible. So if we add a 30-second delay, it's just not very interactive. Hey Legion, how's it going, dude? That's my problem, right? I don't want. So live is probably a no-go. The other thing as well is I'm already aware that I'm Marmite. What I don't want to do is upset people by saying, no, I'm not having you on the stream. when I've already had maybe 5 other members on the stream. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I don't want to get to a point where it's like, it feels like I'm picking people to come and some people get told no and some people get told yes. And the people that get told no might then become a bit kind of disenfranchised or upset or why am I not good enough for his stream? Or we record a video and we don't put it out because it's not good content. They might take it personally. People do take it, but it has happened. Like, people do take it personally. And that's horrible. So I don't want to do that. You know? Need help getting my hobby mojo back, do you? What's your favourite faction, Legion? What's it coming to when you can't even trust the mods? Exactly. I feel like Soup should probably be a mod, to be fair. Power of the Blood God, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Chat, we're on 52 members, by the way, with half an hour to go. I am leaving you in Paddy, Joe, and Tom's capable hands tonight. Everyone's Marmite to a degree. No one is university liked by Joe's university liked by everyone. I see your comment, Mikey, and I raise you with Joe. The Blue Boys, Ultramarines. Have you been struggling with your hobby mojo with Ultramarines? With all the stuff they've been getting, new Calgar, new Titus and Friends. Really? Soup's really mod for you if you wear a bikini on stream. Sat here working away in my own business. That is a new industry for me that I joined a year ago. I feel like Liam is talking about me, not himself. Honestly, hope it goes amazing. And you too, dude. You too. Someone gift that man a membership. Let's get him in Discord so he's got support. VT didn't like Joe. Well... Touche. Honestly, I'd rather not be allowed on the show than be allowed to join a recording and then find out you won't air it. Exactly. Exactly, Blackfired. 100%. I agree with you. I got them, but it's getting the time to sit down and start painting. Yeah, that's hard, isn't it? I tried a thing for a little while, which was minimum 30 minutes a day, and it worked for a while, and then I got busy. Oh, Jeremy, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. You're an absolute hero. BH didn't get one. We tried, though. We tried. Thank you so much, Jeremy. You're a fucking legend. So if I build this one out, right? Here's some questions for you, chat. It's a personal audience today. Here's some questions for you. Do you want on the shows in here in the evening for me to do it like I've done it tonight, or do you want Explosion interrupting Super Chat Brian talking? 10th edition fatigue is so real. Got to say, you guys having these shows along with other content creators showing their hobby makes it a lot of fun. I watch you guys during my work day in the USA. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Bradley. I work in a secure role that you need secret clearance access for, and have been for years. Just found out that I'm not cleared. Awkward. Be fine though, right? Surely? Hey, Josh. Josh, your name's Gray. Got to get to work. Thanks for hanging out, Edward. I'm good either way. Warp Story says Brian. I like Brian. Alex says I like Brian. So it looks like we're bringing Brian in for the shows as well. You could prefer it like this, but you can't sack Brian. He's a day one. The occasional wank about here and there is a laugh. It is, yeah. Honestly, I love Brian, but I much more enjoy this. The interruptions can be really annoying sometimes. They are hard. Sometimes when I'm telling a story and people start super chatting, and I think some people that know me do it on purpose. They do it. They just and I get halfway through a story, then a big super chat comes, and I'm like, yeah, cool, thanks. What the fuck was I saying? Brian costs too much in national insurance contributions. In fact, he's one of the ones that doesn't, Sean. Joe, Toby, and Dan cost too much in national insurance contributions. It's my favourite thing in the world, paying a tax to hire people. Not bitter. Not bitter at all. Can Brian be triggered rather than going off automatically? Best of both worlds. Maybe. Maybe. There is a way in which I can trigger him via the events tab. I don't know. Maybe. If I can do that, Soups, that's probably the way to do it, right? Fuck, if I can actually do that, that would be probably a better way of him doing it at home. Interesting. You've moved from the chair? Only for this show at the moment because there's no Joe, Mr. The Kyle. How are you, by the way, dude? Don't forget pension contributions. Yeah, I know. Fucking hell. The thing that's fundamentally core to most businesses is staff, and the thing that costs the most is fucking staff. Mr. The Kyle was in the venue on Sunday. Brilliant. I saw that, Brian. Oh, no. But I can't... That's just L's, isn't it? Thank you, Roland Bain. There's no Brian right now. Otherwise, he'd have gone la 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 la, because that's what he does. It's my best impression, by the way. Thank you for this 20 bucks, man. You're a hero. The negative thing I would say about Brian is the interruption sometimes being in the middle of the topic I'm engaged with. That's the exactly. So if I can trigger him, you can super chat, I can ignore it, then I can click it, and then that's good. But some people use it to interrupt me. So not if you ignore modern day slavery rules, they aren't. Yeah. I mean, if you want to get a person to run your whole YouTube channel and pay them less than half the minimum wage, you can do that. Apparently. Didn't want to leave him singing his praises all week. Oh, thank you, mate. Got to head off now, guys. Work can be done. Catch you later. Thanks for hanging out, Angemy. You're a legend. What a hero. What a man. What a guy. That's a great impression, though. Thanks, Blackfired. That's my best impression. Just doing all the L's. Chat, we're on 57 members. We have got 26 minutes. Strictly, there's 43 to go. I'll take 3 right now to get to 40. How do people build a carnifex? The fucking gaps. Hopes and prayers. And sprue goo, probably. I think the old carnifex kit still stands up, chat. I think it still looks good. I still think it's a good kit, to be fair. Excuse me. I didn't want to yawn on camera, it's very rude. With glue normally. Oh, you all use glue? I just use cum. Might be a dick question, but will Hobby House have the discount and an online store? Hoping to make it down before my son arrives in May. Not a dick question at all. Yes and yes. So we already have the discount. So you're talking about an average, a common 15% off anything Games Workshop right now. So that's there already. Some products are slightly less because of margins. I think some might even be slightly more. But basically 15% off is what you can expect in store. At the same time, we have a website that's coming and will be coming. www.hobbyhouse.com, and you will be able to order online and get shipped to you, and we are going to get to a point where we're offering same-day shipping. We might not be able to do that from launch, but we will be getting there. So that's all coming, it's all happening. So the answer to both those questions is yes. It's not a dick question at all, mate. What we are also doing is looking into other suppliers of other products. We are trying desperately to find suppliers for trading card games. We've been approached by some other companies. We've been approached by people like Warlord and stuff like that. So we'll be there to we'll be open, to different lines and different product ranges, because we're called Hobby House, we're not called Warhammer House. So it's quite important to me that we have a decent offering of stuff that isn't just Games Workshop. But it kind of needs to make sense. So I don't know about you guys, right? This is a question for you. This is something to stick on a postcard and send to me. Here's a question for you guys, right? I've got Games Workshop's paint range, okay? Full paint range, everything. All the paints, all the bases, the airs, the technicals, the contrasts, everything they sell. Everything they sell for their paint range, I have it, right? Then I have Army Painter racks. I've got their speed paints, their something else, I can't remember. And then I've got their hobby rack, which is like grass tufts and PVA glue and blah, 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 right? So I've got all that stuff as well. We're now looking at adding AK Interactive for weathering powders and stuff like that because we don't have that kind of stuff right now. So I'm trying to find products that fill gaps. So what I could do is I could have Army Painter speed paints and have Vallejo's speed paint version and contrast, but then I'm just duplicating the same product 5 times. And at the moment, that feels like that's pointless. Or are you guys like, I won't buy Citadel, I only buy Vallejo, and so it's actually worth me looking into? So, you know. Mr. Liam, would Discord help with your painting? Yes, facts, without doubt. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Roland Bain, for 10 gifted memberships, you absolute hero. If you make your staff self-employed, you don't have to pay for them. A previous employee did that with me. Yep. But definitely, yes. Definitely Discord would help your painting. Allo Snore. What a great name. Because it's just encouraging people in there. It's just friendly. So yeah, 100%. How posable the Harlequin models? A bit. They're a beautiful kit, despite the fact they're quite old. Thank you, Kyodude, for 5 gifted memberships. Chat, we're on 72 now. Prorakill and AK. AK is definitely a range we're looking at. Prorakill is one I've heard quite a lot. So H8 discount is easy. Just walk away with a box, and if Toby asks, tell him Liam said you could have it. Viva la Jam! Thank you for becoming a Scarlet Team member. You're a hero. AK Interactive get flocking stuff. Yeah. The Vallejo True Metal sets. I'm using them myself. I want to get those in. But the thing is, a Vallejo, and not just Vallejo. This is just a few different companies. Is that we're struggling? So the UK supplier is just non-responsive. The one we found so far, at which point we have to push out to a European supplier, and then we get smashed with import duties. Green Stuff World, right. Green Stuff World got some nice items, love their clippers and brushes, but they also got colour shift paints and other hobby items. Wasn't there drama around Green Stuff World? Or am I misremembering? If you have other brands in store and I can see the colour in real life, I'm more likely to buy them. That's fair. Gotta go have fun. Thanks, Kyle. See you soon, dude. I'm a Citadel only painter. Same. But what I have to do, so I'm like this, Ed, right? When it comes to painting, I'm Citadel only. I also use Army Painter matte black, another Army Painter colour, so 2 Army Painter colours, everything else Citadel, right? So I'm like that. I'm like, why do you want anything other than Citadel paints? But so many people use other fucking products. I'm like, I have to look elsewhere. I have to think about bringing another. And actually, we sold a shitload of Army Painter at the weekend, so it's clearly popular. All hail the Pro Acryl cult. I've never tried it. Sod Green Stuff World, bad business. GW World are a bad bloke, are they? Vallejo isn't just from that supply. They have a supply problem overall. It's been terrible for years. Okay. There was indeed. They rip all their products off of other people and then sue them out of existence. Really? Green Stuff World are a bit of a scumbag company, I think. Yeah, so, okay. Copyright strikes and cease and desist products, wasn't it? So here's my thing, right? I have owned some Green Stuff World products that I think are good products. But I'd heard about this kind of stuff. I need to look into it and get some facts, shall we say, before I can make an informed decision. But we are an ethical company that will be doing things, or trying at least to do things properly, pay staff fair wages, look after employees, offer good service, work with charities, etc. So I question whether stocking that company is in line with our ethos. Do you know what I mean? I got into green stuff well before the drama. They were one of the early makers of colour shift paint back in the day. Yeah, I've bought loads of stuff from them in the past before I knew any of this shit. But I have to question whether I want to be associated with them, right? Do you know what I mean? Chat, we're 2 members away from 75, by the way, and then we get to a round number of multiple of 5 type thing. There's a good video from Hellstorm Mikey on green stuff. Well, okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Mikey's a trusted source. I take the piss out of him, but I fucking love Mikey. He's brilliant. So, from what I heard, Green Stuff Well filed for bankruptcy. Really? Imagine that. Why do companies think that behaving like a cunt is the right way to go? It doesn't make sense to me. Why do that? Because ultimately, people nowadays, in the world of the internet, in the world of social media, people will find out what you're doing, and people will spread that news round and share those facts with other people, and eventually people are going to go, I'm not using you anymore. We Sadie, thank you for becoming a Skulltip member. You're a legend. 1 more to go to 7. Oh no, we're on 75 somehow. Roskibby, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. We're on 80. Go on, chat. When will Hobby House be opening for the public? Would like to support by buying a couple of kits. From Friday the 27th. Although Toby said he might do this quietly and won't shout about it. So our normal opening hours are going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 till 10. And if you book a table, you'll get all 6 hours because we can't do 2 slots because we're doing 4-hour slots. And then Saturday 10 till 10, Sunday 10 till 6, right? On the Friday the 27th that we're gonna reopen 2 weeks after our launch weekend, Toby said he's probably going to open the doors at 2 o'clock. So there you go. There you go, Sam. Roskibby, thank you for 5 gifted. We're on 80 chat right now. 1 lot of 20 away. If in 15 minutes we're going to do 120, there's no pressure on Joe tonight. I'm joking, by the way. Oh, I heard about AK's diorama issue. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know whether I consider that genuine, just like mistake, or because the thing is, with green stuff world, right? That's very obvious bad business practice. It's very obvious predatory business nonsense. The AK thing, I heard about it. I'm not saying it's good. It's not good, but it could have been genuine. Do you know what I mean? It's a difficult topic when your products are around a historic event that includes essentially a mass genocide. It's hard, isn't it? Because I always thought, right, that how do I say this? I've always been slightly uncomfortable when I've seen people playing the Germans in Bolt Action covered in fucking Nazi symbols. It's just me, I know, but I don't like it. But it's a historical war game. So, just curious, what roles are you looking to hire for Hobby House? How big of a team are you looking to create? That's a difficult question to answer right now, but I'll try my best. So we want, to start with, we're going to want to be hiring probably shop assistants and other assistant managers to sit underneath Toby to start with. People that are good with a coffee machine, incredible with customers, and good at just running a shop, right? To start with. Then we're going to need to hire people to work on and manage online operations. And then eventually we're going to probably need to, if we open a second, third location, we're going to need to expand the teams up. Someone will need to be an area manager, For example, that could be Toby. Then we'd have to hire a general manager. At some point, we're probably going to need our own personal accountant, to be fair. So, I don't know. That's about it, though. I don't know who else we would hire at the moment as a shop. Why? What are you asking for? Donk donk. Got issues enough. Filtering out bad eggs and 40k would be a nightmare if I played bolt action. Yeah. I don't know. I find it weird. When I got into bolt action, I wanted to play the Germans just because I fucking love a Tiger tank, but I just couldn't bring myself to fucking play Nazis. I couldn't do it. So, I bought 101st Airborne in the end because I'm a Band of Brothers nut. Who thought that was a good idea? Is it bad, Luke? I haven't read up on it, so I'm aware of what had happened, but I don't know the detail. Get a local accountant rather than hiring one a lot cheaper. Yeah, I've learned that one. I've learned that one the hard way. But then my accountant's also very good, so I'm not going to complain too much. As a keen historical wargamer, historical accuracy is important for me, but someone has to play the bad guys. Facts. Oh, of course. Of course. I agree, Alex. I do. And if I'm playing 101st Airborne on bolt action, you know what? I want to be playing against the Germans. Right? Because that makes sense. Which means someone has to play the Germans. I just don't want to be the person playing the Germans. That's just me, though, Well, it's not just me, apparently. Buans is the same. Samesies. Nice to meet you last week. Look at you all chatting each other up in chat. AK included instructions on how to make Zyklon B canisters look realistic. I think it was tone deaf, not intentional or scummy. Yeah, there's a difference, right? So I would agree that's tone deaf. I would agree that it's a dumb decision. I would agree that it should have never made it to print. Do I think it's intentionally, nasty or vindictive or hate inciting or whatever? No. The difference with what I'd heard Green Stuff World have been doing is that was quite predatory and was intentionally shitty. And so there's a discrepancy there, right? There's two differences of acting, essentially. It's fine as people start. It's fine as long as people are just playing the Germans. It's when they start role playing the Germans who have issues. There was a picture that I saw a long time ago of a bolt action tournament where someone was dressed like one, and I wasn't comfortable with that. I think because World War II is still in living memory for a lot of people, it makes it weird as opposed to World War I German forces in war games. Maybe, Buans. I think partly. I think the thing is, the First World War was a war of attrition on both sides, right? I don't know if I would consider the Axis powers in the First World War quite as evil as the Second. Maybe that's just me. World War should never happen, for clarity. El Cramp says, I just got started in bolt action with a pal. He really wanted the Yanks, so I had to take the Germans, and yeah, it does feel icky. Yeah, I don't... Thank you, Alpha Omega, for the $5. What's the store's policy on using unpainted models in the tabletop for gaming? Also, I will be visiting next month to spend and try the hot chocolate. Play what you want. So there is no policy. If your opponent is happy, play with what you want. We had people this weekend playing with base-coated stuff. We had people this last weekend playing with grey plastic. If you and your opponent are playing a game of Warhammer and you're both happy, like if you want to turn up with a combat patrol that you've bought and you've not glued anything together and you're just using the bases, and your opponent who is a mate of yours is like, yeah, I'm okay with it. Do what you want. We're as inclusive as we possibly can be. If you want to come with 3D printed stuff, if you want to come with third-party models that you're calling orcs, do what you want. Just come play games in our venue. Book a table, play games in our venue. It's all we care about. Right? Thank you, Cray, for 10 gifted memberships. You're a hero. What a legend. So yeah, you do what you want. It's about inclusivity, right? It's about getting people in the door, get people into the hobby. That's it. Both sides were guilty of nationalism in the First World War, whereas genocide, well, and yes, Stalin. Exactly. That's my point, right? There is. I think there's a difference. I think people are more comfortable with First World War Germany than they are with Second World War Germany, and I think justifiably so. You know. Does that mean I can come along in Sister Repentia cosplay? The only way you're allowed back in the venue, Soups, is if you're in Sister Repentia cosplay. Right, it's fact. Thank you, Cray, for the 500 yen. Big congrats on the shop opening. I also get weird near edition ends. Looking forward to when I can make my way over from Japan and see the shop. You'd be more than welcome, sir. More than welcome, you legend. Thank you for the 10 gifted as well. We've got chat. We're actually 8 minutes away from the end of the show, and 10 gifted away from 100 on a Liam and Joe show, and that's been a hot minute, or a Liam and No Joe show, I should say. On the Jolo show, he did it twice. So, oh no, that backfired. It's the only way you're allowed back in now, Soups. If you turn up again and you're not in a Sister Repentia costume, I'll pick you up and carry you out. Did you already have an idea in mind to find opponents for people that book a table solo? No, not yet, but it is something I'd like to facilitate. We're going to have a community of some sort online. I think at the moment the best way to do it is on Facebook. It's the most accessible way of doing it. I prefer Discord, but most people... You got Facebook? Yeah. You got Discord? No. Not most. A lot of people. So I don't want to run more than one. There needs to be a central hub. So I'd like to create some kind of digital space, some kind of online community where someone can go, I'm coming on Saturday, I'd like to play a game, 2,000 points, 40k competitive, who wants a game? I'm bringing Tau. You know? Thank you, that laser guy, for the $5. You will never be mad about losing as the Germans if you're picking up Nazis. Facts. Yeah, you can, you know, you're happy to lose, aren't you, I guess? I've got a spare bog roll at least, just need an eviscerator now. Yeah, you made the offer, Soups. And don't think, if you don't turn up in it, you know, I'll be disappointed. If you do turn up in it, it will be making a social media page. I need to learn to play quicker. I take 5 hours a game. I struggle to see how people can play 2,000 points in 3 hours. I mean, it depends on how often you play, Mikey, right? We play so often that we can... If we're not on camera, we can get a game done in a couple of hours. 2, if we're not on camera. Slower on camera, we take a bit more time. We've got audience engagement to do. You know, you've got like the deck pulling cards and stuff like that. But if you struggle to play a game in 4 hours, your best bet is to book games with us on a Wednesday or Thursday or Friday night, right? So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, when you book a slot, book from whenever you want. But if you book a table, you basically get the table for the whole 6 hours we're open, because we can't sell 2 4-hour slots in a 6-hour window. We can't do it. So if you booked the table from 4 p.m. on a Wednesday, you'd have till 10 to finish your game. It gives you 6 hours. You could book it from 4, turn up at 5, 10's 5 hours, job done, played your game. Which I think is reasonable. My local store has a group where we sign up for general games. We buy attendance tickets. If we have that extra person, we play a 2 versus 1 on one of the tables. That sounds cool. It is about, like, a lot of this is about getting people into the hobby as well, and get people interested. And get people perhaps tabletop hobby curious. Whether that's historicals, whether that's Warhammer, whether that's fucking Marvel, whether that's trading cards. Just get people involved in the community. It's never been cooler to be a nerd, right? I firmly believe at the moment it's never been cooler to be a nerd. And the big celebrities that are coming out and sharing their experiences, like your Carvels and stuff, it's never been cooler to be a nerd. So get more people in the nerd shop, get more people hooked on it. It's better for all of us, better community, bigger community. In my opinion. Chat, we're 10 members away. We're 10 away, chat, and there's 217 people watching. Want to pop down the shop and bring me magic? You should. I love magic. I love magic. Right, chat, I've got a busy afternoon as well. I now have to fix this system for when Joe comes in so that Tom can run the stream. You have got a live game of Warhammer 40k tonight. You've got Joe versus Paddy with Tom on the deck. So you can look forward to that. It'll be funny, it'll be a laugh, because Paddy's bringing knights. I'm going to suggest to Tom that he lets you lot super chat for silly rules, like a chat plays, because knights is a shit game otherwise. So I'm gonna message Tom privately if Joe's still not listening to us on the train. I'm gonna say to him, how about you fuck about with Paddy for tonight? Why not? Callum, thank you for 10 gifted. Oh my god, you're a legend. Thank you, you fucking hero. 100 members on a Liam and No Joe show. So yeah, I'm gonna give Tom the opportunity to chat plays it a little bit. We're not gonna go full chat plays, but a little bit, right? To fuck about with knights, because the game could be over in 10 minutes. Obviously, you guys are taking a little bit of pressure off Joe. We've hit day target, so we just need to hit night target, and then we're all good. He doesn't have to hit night target and some because day target was short. So you've helped him out massively. You've helped me out massively. It's been good to talk to you all. I know it's a bit of a downer at the start, but I'm trying to be open about it. I'm trying to talk about it, right? Because if I'm open about it, I talk about it, and you guys understand what's going on with me, maybe there's a little bit more patience, which is important. Maybe there's a little bit more support, which is important. As much as I'd like it to not be about that, it is important. And hopefully it helps people understand a little bit that, you know, times are really difficult for me at the moment. Not complaining at all. I'm where I am because of choices that I've made. And I think there is light at the end of a very long tunnel. I just need to keep making my way towards that light. And I'd love to bring you along for the ride, you know. And I have so far, and it's been wonderful and amazing, and hopefully we can keep showing it off to you. And the feedback, the comments you guys have put on what's gone out there about Hobby House, and the Google reviews that exist, and it's just insane. It's just insane. What detachment from Imperial Knights do you know? I can tell you in no time at all. He hasn't told me the detachment. Joe's put a Tyrannid list in the chat, which is called "I Got a Wet Mouth." I think game stores are still one of the last third places people have and really help out. I think physical social space is important. I think pubs are dying. I think cafes are doing okay, but a lot of them shut early. I think pubs are dying. I think COVID taught us that physical interaction, in-person interaction, is very important. I believe it's important. I'm energized off of people. I don't like being shut away. So I'm inclined to agree with you. Anyway, I'll find out what detachment is, but he's written Tyrannid, so I guess it's all fucking like Morlocks and Trigons and stuff, but we'll see. Anyway, you guys are amazing. Thank you for hanging out on the Liam at No Joe show. We have 127 likes, £82 in super chats, and 100 gifted memberships. You are insane. I love you. We have got that live game tonight. It'd be great for you to support them. Tomorrow night at 9, I don't know if I'm going to be here or not, but you can look forward to that as well for an After Dark show. I think that covers everything. You might have to bear with me when I edit the stream because I don't know if it's going to automatically turn my audio off. But hey, I love you all. You're all incredible. I think that's everything. Thank you so much for all the gifted. Thank you, Callum, for coming at the end of a 10, because I know you've already gifted 5 as well. So thank you for 15 gifted from Callum alone. You're a hero. Jeremy says, I wish I could gift more. You do loads, Jeremy. Thank you. I love you. Right, good. You're all amazing human beings. Let me know what you think about this new setup. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next...